Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? What is good in the hood? Alright, we live? We are live. What's good, everybody? What's good? Alright, what's good? We're in the end game. We're doing this trial of Sekima's. This is the second trial, actually. I did the first trial off stream to get my third ascendancy point. So let's go. Contains merch in large. Let's do large.
This better be worth it.
Let's go. Hopefully it goes well and we don't die. By the way, I got an absolute GG bow yesterday. It's crazy. Oh, that's right. I have 20%, 25% movement speed reduction. Pretty rough. We're not gonna go for rewards in these trials. We're just gonna play it nice and safe and make sure we pass. Make sure you don't get hit by stuff, because I don't want to lose honor. There we go. This movement speed makes it so, movement speed reduction makes it so it's really, really rough.
Challenge overcome.
I can't pick up that relic. I'll just get rid of that. Give me a sec, guys. Real quick. I'll be back.
desert. Good riddance.
Reloading.
your wish! Good riddance. Nice. Take a wish. Stand tall. Swift magnificence. Rest a while. Fight with intent. We will succeed. Greetings. We will succeed. Use that well. I shall aid you. Two ancient guardians await you ahead. Be light on your feet. different here. You will have another chance.
Greetings. Time is not on our side.
Speak. Time is of the essence.
Wow, my mic's been off the whole time. That's crazy. It was on earlier. I literally saw it. Thanks for letting me know. Now I look a little dumb. But oh well. Was good. Was good. The goat makes mistakes sometimes. Yeah, that's true. Too busy being the goat, dude. I can't be aware of my mic. This map is interesting. It almost reminds me of like a Call of Duty map or something. I really need tier 3 waystones. Do I have all 3? Okay. Good. So mana is a little bit of a problem right now, but some exalted orb, nice.
Better than coin.
It's not too bad. Mana being a problem because we have enough charges that we can just restore mana. Okay, the damage is pretty damn huge. Well, I need a tier 3 waystone.
Reloading.
There's a clasped hands right here. Nice, we got a breach ring. First ever breach ring. Okay, finally I got a tier 3. Are there any other clasped hands? Nope. I'm gonna take that item because it has 2 sockets. That was good. We got a breach ring, which is nice. We leveled up too. Oh, actually, that has quality on it. I can get blacksmith whetstones. I am not doing ritual because ritual has been very rippy. Okay, we have a skull in the middle, so we just need to go to the middle now. We could try this expedition, but we'll try it when we come back. Hey, it's Tujin. Oh, I got stunned really fast. I think this last one should complete me the map. There it is. Okay, so we could just leave now and continue mapping, but I just want to try this expedition. Let's see what Tujin is looking like.
You're still here. We came at a rather.
Okay, it doesn't show
Man with an interest in
an
mercy.
inventory yet. Let me switch this.
I like him.
What is it? V? Okay, V. So we can't do immune to physical.
Itching for me to lose another limb, are ya?
Always like watching things explode.
Risky choice.
There we go. Hopefully it's not too rippy. But let's try it. Oh yeah, the amount of monsters that spawn are pretty calm. Nice. Is that it?
Have those been right under our feet the whole time?
That's it, right? Seems like that's it. Okay, so I got the expedition currency.
Aye.
Now what do I do? I believe I killed everything. You know how it is in PoE1 where Tujin will have like an exclamation point over his head, and he'll usually have a shop. But I don't see anything else. Okay, we'll go back. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of attack speed here. And the more area of effect I can get, the better. There's some small area of effect nodes, like just this one, but I want more. I already took this, and I already took this. But the larger area, the better. Like if I could have a big area with my explosive shot, that would be ideal. Without having to use the support gem for it. That's not good.
Greetings.
4 to 8 physical damage to attacks. So there's no implicit on it. It's just maximum quality is 50%. That's the downside of that ring.
On with the work.
Fire modifiers, I could do that on here. I want to adjust the resistance modifiers. Mana modifiers, exalted orb, boom boom. Yeah, we need some dedicated stash tabs. We're gonna have to clean this up. This is way too messy. Wait, I can't rename these ones? I thought I could. I can only rename these. Whatever, we'll just put that there. Okay. Okay, so let's craft this. Cast speed, okay, that's a brick.
Hello. I'll be here. Wait.
Okay, next map. Let's do, okay, I just did this one step. It says in progress, but I already finished it. I already activated this tower, I believe. Oh no, I haven't activated this one. Towers are really easy. Hopefully that doesn't kill me. Seepage. That sounds kind of nasty. Seepage.
You're done!
It's a pearl. Oh, pearl ring gives cast speed. Hopefully I get some good rewards from this. Just distilled items. Yeah, I got a Waystone tier 2. I think I need to increase the chance to get a higher tier. But I'm getting a lot of low tiers. Can't wait for Duelist to come up and try out the Cyclone build. Hopefully it's strong when it does damage. Did you just teleport me? Ow. Dude, what is hitting me?
Nice!
Nice. Okay, so we have some more rares to kill. So in case you guys don't know yet, in order to complete a map, you have to kill all the rares. And if there's a boss, then you have to do. Hey, what's up, Chris? How did you put that loot filter on? I actually made the loot filter myself. I can show you how to do it if you want. But I have my own loot filter that I created. There we go. Yeah, I created the loot filter on my own, so it'll highlight things that I like.
Bye-bye!
Oh my goodness. Ow. Oh, he had proximal tangibility. Proximal tangibility is really rough. Man, it's really rough. You have to go close. Ow. No, that hurt. But yeah, Chris, let me know if you want me to teach you how to create your own loot filter, because that's how I did it. Why do I have this random white
Yes.
gear in my...
Take your time. Move along.
Hello. Until next time.
Okay. Unfortunate that we failed that map, but you want me to show you? Okay. Okay, give me a sec. Let me prep for this and I'll show you how to do it. I got you in 1 second. Let me just do this. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this. Let me just clean up my OBS so I can show you my desktop. And then you can see what I'm working with. Remove. 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 Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna put my camera there. Let's do a display capture. Wrong screen. There we go. Okay, so put me here. So I gotta put the game in windowed mode to make this easy. That should be fine. Let me just make sure it's working. There we go. Okay. Ready? You still here, Chris? You ready? You want me to show you? You ready to get started? You're here? Okay, let's go. Alright, so here's the deal. If you want to make your own loot filter, what you have to do is you're going to hit options in the game. Go to the game tab. Obviously, you have your item filter here. I made a couple on my own. Obviously, it's going to say none. But go ahead and click the folder where it says click to open your filter file folder. So click that folder and then you're going to get this folder come up. And in here, you're going to probably have nothing. What you want to do is right click, you're going to click new, and then make a text document. We're going to make a text document, but you actually want to change this file type, which hopefully it'll give me the ability to see. Let's see, where is it? Properties. Where can I show the file extensions? There you go. File name extensions. So I have my text document. So you're going to click on that, and then you can name it whatever you want. You could just call it like general filter. So let's call ours general filter here. And then on the .txt, remove txt and replace that with filter. .filter. So the name of the file is general filter, and make sure the file extension is a filter type. Yes, I'm going to change it. And then if I double click on that, it should open in Notepad. If it doesn't, just make it pop up in Notepad. Now we have a few keywords we want to learn here. But basically, let's start from the basics. So there's show, there's hide, there are set text colors. There's set background color. There's set border color. There's more of these here, but let me just give you the basics. So just remember these keywords. And let me make it bigger so hopefully you can see that. Zoom in. Control plus, okay. Yeah, hopefully that's easier to see. So here's your loot filter. Show, hide. These are some basic words. So here's the structure. This is how you make it. I'm going to put a £sign in front of all of them. And what that does is it makes the text file not read those words. So long as there's a £sign in front of text, it's like code when you're commenting out a code. It doesn't read the text. So I'm just putting it there just so you can see like the keywords. So let's try it out. Let's start with something basic like currency. Let's say you want currency to look like a particular color. What you're going to do is you're going to type show. And then you press enter. And we tab over just to keep it clean. And then you have to decide on what you want to show a certain way. So if I say I want all currency to look a certain way, then we're going to say class. And then we're going to say currency. Okay, so just type it like that. And then now you have to decide what do you want the currency to look like. So if you want it to look like mine where it's green, then you could just say set background color. So you put set background color all in one word. And then it follows the RGB numerical values. So if you don't know what those are, let me show you real quick. RGB selector, here you go. So if I just do RGB numeric numbers, there you go. So then you just choose something like this. And then you can choose what color you want. So you can use the color thing here to kind of choose what color you want. Let's say I want like a darker green. This is the code 15-205-21. Okay, RGB 15-205-21. So then you're going to go back to your notepad. And then we're going to put that 15. What was it again? 15-205-21. So that right there is already set to go. So now if I save this file and then I go back to game, you'll see general filter comes up. And as long as you see it right here come up in the text as saying item filter loaded successfully, that's how you know you did it right. So now if we start with that, let's go to an area just so we can test out what it looks like. So if I go to like some area, okay, so I'm here, and let's test with our currency here. We have Scrolls of Wisdom. If I drop the Scrolls of Wisdom, look what happens. It changes from the original. Like if we look at our default, it changes from black and brown text to this green text. Now this green text obviously looks ugly. So what if I want to change the actual text color? What if I want to make it pop out, like make it black or something? So then you would go back to your text file, and then you would use a new keyword. You would use set text color. And then you would just choose the RGB value for black. So if we come here and we just go all the way in the bottom corner, obviously it's 000 for RGB. So I could just say 000, file, save, and I hit the reload button up here, and look at that. It makes our text black and it's easier to see. Now let's say you want to increase the size of it, right? Because if I drop another item next to it, they're about the same size. If you want the loot filter to make the item pop out and make it larger, then we can try another one, which is set font size, which I haven't showed you yet. But the font size, I think the default font size is 30. So what you see in the normal game is 30. And I think it caps out at 45. So if you want to make it max, you just put 45. Set font size 45. File save. Come back, reload. And there you go. Now you could do that with pretty much anything. So that was currency. That's basic currency. Now what if I wanted to do specific currency only? Like what if I wanted to do... Reloading. Let's see, let's take my stash here. Let's say I wanted only exalted orbs to look a certain way, and I don't care about Scrolls of Wisdom. I want to omit Scrolls of Wisdom. Right? They look the same right now. What if I want exalted orbs to look particularly special? Okay, so let's learn how to do that.
Beautiful.
So now we're going to come into the notepad again. And we had it set as class currency. So because it's set as class currency, this is going to affect all currency types. Gold, all kinds of orbs, anything you can imagine. All of them are going to follow these rules. If you want to separate them, then what you want to do is you want to change it from class being a group of items. We're going to change it to base type. Let me just make sure I have the syntax right for that. Yeah, base type. So you want to change it to base type. And what a base type means, it only affects one base. So one specific orb. So now you have to refer to what orb you want. So let's say I want an exalted orb. Well, you put exalted orb, but because it's 2 words, you have to put it in quotations. Anytime you have 2 words where there would be a space in between, you have to put it in between quotations. So now base type exalted orb. And let's just keep the same settings we had before. Now if I reload, item filter loaded successfully. That's how you know we did it right. We come here, drop the exalted orb, look, we have the big green, and then what happens to Scrolls of Wisdom? Now Scrolls of Wisdoms are untouched, right? And there's a few more things you can add if you want to. So there's a few more sets. So there's set font size, which we just did right now. There's play alert sound, and there's play effect. So let's test out some of those. So if I want to play alert sound, I believe the values go between 1 and like 15 or something. I would just experiment between 1 through 10. I think the ones after 10 are a little bit weird, or maybe after 12 are a little bit weird. Let me just show you. I'll play 12. So it's kind of confusing, I understand. If there's a document or a wiki thing, there might be one for PoE1. It kind of follows the same rules as PoE1. You might be able to see it, or you can look at Filter Blade and try to customize your loot filter there. Even though it doesn't work for PoE2, you can at least see what the options are, what the customizations are. But just understand, play alert sound, there's about 15 options or so. And 1 through 12 are like normal sounds, and anything over that. So just play around with this. So start with 1. So just put play alert sound 1, and we also want to set a volume. The volume can go up to 300. 300 being the loudest, 100 being like mid to low, and then 5 being really quiet, for example. It's like a volume. So let's just put 300 as the max. Let's test that out. So if I file save, reload, item filter loaded successfully. Now when an exalted orb drops, I get a sound, and it was really loud, right? It's really loud, so I wouldn't recommend going with 300. Maybe you go with maybe you go with like 100, right? And maybe you don't like the sound of 1, try 2. Save, reload. Look at that, way quieter. And that's actually, if you use the filter blade, I think that's the sound they use for important drops. I think that's the one. So that's how play alert sound works. Now let me introduce you to play effect. So play effect allows you to put a beam on a particular item. So exalted orbs are pretty rare and pretty desirable in PoE2 right now. So what if I want to put a play effect on it? Well, play effect is very simple. Just put play effect and you put the name of a color. Why it's not RGB for play effect, I don't know, but just put the actual name. So I would put green. Right? Let's just test with green. File, save, and look at that. Now it has a beam. So it looks really cool. You can use this to customize exactly how you want to affect items and currency. Now that I showed you the very basics and I use currency as the standard, okay, how do I do things like other items like gear, weapons, and things like that? So let's go over to my mercenary one that I have. Let's reload. This is what my currency looks like. Exalted Orb's a little bit larger. Scrolls of Wisdom's a little bit smaller, but they follow the same color pattern. That's how I like it. Waystones look like this, for example. Okay, and let me show you my mercenary filter. So if we look at my mercenary filter here, I organized it a little bit. It's gonna look a little bit more complicated, but trust me, this is simple. Let me move that over a little bit. So yeah, I set a comment basically, and like I said, like coding, anything after the pound symbol does not get read as specific items for the filter. So build specific filter, that's just kind of organization for me to know that this is build specific. So what do I want? I want to look for class crossbow. Remember, a class is a group of items. So crossbows are a group of items, and there's many different base types of crossbows. So I want it to show me crossbows, and because I'm at a certain level, I specifically only want base types that have the word expert in it. So if you haven't noticed, when you get to a certain level in the game, the crossbows will repeat. So you'll have a sturdy crossbow in the very beginning of the game. Then when you get to like Act 3 or Cruel Act 1, you'll start finding advanced sturdy crossbows. And now that I'm in maps, I'm getting expert sturdy crossbows. So I'm only looking for crossbows that have the word expert in it. If you want to do it differently to cater to your level, or if you want to go based on item level, you could do that too. That's a little bit more advanced, but I'm trying to make this as basic as possible. But now I have this expert crossbow. So if we look back at my filter, so I want all crossbows base type that have the name expert. And the reason why I put in quotation marks, even though it's only one word, is because when you put in quotation marks, it'll include anything that has words after it. Okay, so what is, so there's no base type of a crossbow just called expert. Notice it's called expert sturdy, or if you find a different tier, it might be expert bombard or expert forlorn crossbow. There's different types of crossbows. So the fact that I put expert means I just want it to have at least expert in the name. Okay. And I have the set font size to 40. I want it a little bit bigger than the default, which is 30. And I set a border color. I want it to be green. So 0, 255, 0. RGB. R being 0, 255 being green, 0 being blue. Okay? So then when I drop this, this is what it looks like. So it keeps the same default background color, which is pretty much black. And it's yellow for a rare. I could change those and customize them if I wanted to. But I give it a green border. So whenever I see crossbows and I'm mapping and I don't see a green border around it, I'm not going to pick up the crossbow and try to craft it or anything. Okay? Now if we continue, these are more general stuff, so I put this under a general section. You don't have to do it like this. You can put them in order. And then I put little comments like this. So show all uniques with large font and a brown beam. Again, because this is in front of the pound sign, this whole line gets commented out essentially. It's not red. Only anything below it will get red. So what are we looking at? I want to show rarity unique. So all unique items. I want all unique items to have an increased font size, and I want them to drop with the brown beam. So let's see what that looks like real quick. So I have uniques right here. So here's a belt, for example. I don't know why it switched back to the other general filter. Let's go back to my mercenary one, save. Okay, and then when I drop this, that's how it looks. So this is how I want my uniques to look. I want them to look a little bit bigger. Compare that to the default. This is how the default looks. It's not a big difference. It just adds a brown beam. Sorry, it adds a brown beam. And it's a little bit larger. That's how I like it. You can customize it however you want. But there we go. And then let's just look at this. Now, you might notice I have show base type gold, but I have no rules under it. I don't have a font size change. I don't have anything underneath that. Now, why is that? The reason why is because I don't want gold to look different, but I have stuff for currency below that it adjusts it. So gold will not look green. Gold is actually under that currency group. Let me show you an example. If I kill a monster, and let me actually take this off. Let me show what I mean. So I'm going to come back here to show gold, and I'm going to put a pound symbol in front of it. So the text document, the filter document, assumes that that's not there. Basically, it doesn't read that. So if I reload, and let's pick this stuff up.
Oh, better than coin.
Okay, let's just kill something, and then we'll see what it looks like when they drop gold.
Reloading.
Okay, those mobs didn't drop gold for some reason. Let's see. Let me find a group of mobs that drops gold, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. I just found a group of mobs that drops gold, and notice that it's 19 to 21 and it's all green. Okay? I don't want the gold to look green. It looks distracting. It makes it look like I need to click on it to pick it up, and I have mobs bothering me. But as I was saying, so we have gold here, and they look green just like any other currency, right? Like if I took my Scrolls of Wisdom, they look the same. And it's a little bit annoying because it looks like I have to click on it to pick it up, and it messes with my brain, making me think like, oh, this is a separate type of currency. So I actually prefer gold looks in its default way. So what am I doing? I'm actually going to literally write show base type gold, and I'm going to set no parameters. So because I set no parameters, no changes in font size, no changes in color or anything like that, it's just going to show as default. And the reason why I do that specifically is because I want to use the whole class of currency underneath it. the text document reads top to bottom, so it goes in order of whatever you set. So if I say show base type gold, it's going to set specific rules for gold first, then it's going to do for these. So you see I have Exalted Orb, Chaos Orb, Divine Orb, and then I have one for all other currency basically. Okay, so I have different effects here. So now you can take a kind of general look at what I'm working with here. And this will tell you basically what I'm going for. Okay, I'm getting beat up by stuff. Stuff won't leave me alone. But anyways, if I save this now, go to options, reload. Now gold looks normal, while my scrolls still are green. Okay. So, let's go back, and we're just gonna clean up the text document a little bit, and we're gonna go over some final things. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the description though, and I'll be happy to help if you guys need it. But I'm just giving you the very basics, the very general things you need to get a loot filter going. Okay, so let's continue here. Let me clean up my document. Did that make sense, Chris? Hopefully you stay tuned for that. I actually should redo that as a video or something. I kind of want to go over it again, but make it nice and clean. Okay, I'm gonna do it as a separate YouTube video. So we're looking at 1:12:30. I'm gonna write this as a note. God damn, these mobs are bothering me, bruh. One 12:30. Look at this. These mobs keep going. Yo, what's up guys? This is AlwaysRogue, and I'm gonna show you how to quickly make your own loot filter. People have stopped by the stream and they've asked me how I have a loot filter. I made my own, and I actually wanted to show you guys how you can make your own too, just to give you an idea of what my loot filter looks like. My crossbow looks like this, some currency looks like that, other currency looks like that, uniques look like that, etc, etc. So let's pick everything up and let's go over that real quick. Okay, so basically making loot filters is the same, pretty much the same as it was in PoE1. There's a few keywords you want to know. It's almost like you're coding and you kind of have to learn some keywords and things for a filter. So how do you make a filter? Let's make it start from the very beginning. So this is a filter file right here. Don't worry about what it says now. We'll cover this stuff. But real quick, come into game, press escape, and go to options. And under your game tab, obviously, this is where you choose your item filter. It'll be set to none. Just click on the folder of where the filters would go. So click to open your filter file folder. Let me kill this guy so he doesn't bother me. So let's click on that. And notice it takes me to this folder in my documents usually. So right now I have 3 filter files. The way you want to create one, since you're not going to have one, is just right here in the body. Just right click, new, go to text document, and then you can name it anything you want. So you could just put general, or you could put PoE2, or anything. And the .txt, you need to remove that. If you don't have the show file extension names, just click view right here, show. Make sure you have file name extensions checked. And then you can change txt. You can change it to .filter. If you press enter, are you sure you want to change it? Yes. Then you can right click and you can open with Notepad. Make sure you could also set that as your default so that it always opens with Notepad. But that's how you make a filter file. Then when you open it, I'm gonna open the general one. It's gonna open into a Notepad text file just like any other text file. But because you added the .filter, PoE2 will read it as a filter file. Okay, so there's a few keywords. These are not all of them, but these are some of the basic ones that you might want to look at. So the basics are show, hide, set text color, set background color, set border color, set font size, play alert sound, play effect, item level, sockets. There's more than this. You can get really convoluted and stuff like this. I'm sure you can find it on the wiki. If you just search the PoE1 item filter wiki, you can see all the keywords and things like that that you can manipulate. I mean, I'm already missing some obvious ones here like class and base type. But don't worry about what they are now. I'm going to show you what they mean. I'm going to show you how to make a very basic loot filter while you wait for maybe NeverSync, Filter Blade to make their general filter. If you find someone else has their own filter, you can just use theirs. But if you want to make your own and customize it, and you don't mind having a very basic one, or at least learning to start getting complex, if you don't mind that, then this video is for you. So let's start here. This is an example of what I did. Right here I have the keyword show. Whenever you put the keyword show, it means you specifically want to show a particular type of item, and then you could set parameters, right? We press enter to go to a new line, press tab to go over, set specific parameters of what exactly you want to show and how you want to show it. So in this case, I have a base type, exalted orb. What does base type mean? Base type is basically the specific type of item. So we have all these different currency types, right? Orb of transmutation, orb of augmentation, we have a regal orb, we have exalts, we have chaos, we have divine, we have all these kinds of different currencies. But they're all different base types. Each of these are a different base type of currency, but they're all different currencies. And what would that mean? That they're currencies, that means that's a class. And I'll go into classes later. But let's talk about base type first. So we took a specific base type, one orb, called the exalted orb. Okay, so we have the exalted orb here. Now let's look at our filter file again. So we're saying we want to show the base type of exalted orb. So we're telling the filter file that we want to see exalted orbs. Now how do we want to see them? That's what we determine on the subsequent lines. So how do we want to see them? We want to set the background color to 15:205:21. What does this mean? This means RGB. So if you know about RGB numeric values, that's what these things follow. So that's what the kind of thing you want to go for. So if you're not familiar with that, you just go onto Google Chrome and you could just search up. This is what I searched up: RGB numbers. I picked the first one. Here's your RGB color picker, and then you can just choose a color. So let's say you want exalted orbs to look green. I like green for currency. It makes sense to me. Let's say I want a green and I want specifically this green right here. So what number am I looking for? RGB 25 206 67. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. 25, 206, 67. So if I open my filter file, I just want to put that right after. So let's do 25, 206, and 67. So I set the background color, and I'm going to put this pound symbol in front of these, and what that does, it ignores those lines. Anything after a pound symbol will ignore those lines. So we're going to ignore those for now. Just imagine those don't exist. And we're only looking at this right now. Show base type exalted orb, and we're setting the background color. So let's see what that looks like in game. So what we're going to do is going to click file, save, and then let's go back to game. And now from the item filter, let's choose the filter we're working on, general. Yours might be named differently. I have multiple ones, so just ignore those. Let's look at general. And make sure you click the reload button. And notice in the text right here, it says item filter loaded successfully. When it says that, that's how you know you did it right. It's very important to make sure it does that right. Otherwise, sometimes if you have any errors or any issues, it'll tell you here, did not recognize this word or something. It'll give you some kind of error, almost like you're coding. So let's save. And now if we drop the exalted orb, let's take a look what it looks like. Okay, it looks like this. And let's compare that to other currency, which looks like this. This is the normal default filter that you're looking at. This is what it looks like now. I made it green. But obviously this is really bad, right? I like the green background, but what if I want to make it so the text is more readable? Because right now it's not super readable. Let's pick something bold like black. Black is a very easy color to set for that. Okay, so let's go back to the loop filter, and that's where set text color will come in. So let's take that out, bring this back, ignore those for now. We're going to take off the pound symbol. So we're going to use the keyword set text color, and if you don't know, refer to that RGB website that I just showed you on Google. Black is 000 on RGB, so all zeros, no red, no green, no black, no blue. That's how you get black. Okay, so set text color is 000. So now if I add that, and if I file save and I click here to reload, notice now it's much more readable. Okay, it is readable, it looks nice. Now it's easy for me to identify whenever I do come across exalted orbs. But what if I want it to be larger and easier to click? So when I'm blasting through maps and I see more loot, it's easier for me to click, easier for me to notice. Okay, so how do we do that next? So the next step would be set font size. So let's erase that here, bring that up over, tab over, erase that, ignore the other ones for now. Now we're looking at show base type exalted orb. We're setting the background color as this RGB value, which is green, setting the text color as black, and setting the font size. The font size ranges, I believe, between 1 and 45, and I think the default is 30. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong, but just know 45 is the largest and 1 is the smallest. So if you want something larger, you could experiment with 40, 45, something somewhere around there. 45 being the max. Let's try that. So file save, reload, and look at that, exalted orb is larger. Now you might be asking me, okay, well that's nice, it's green, so it tells me it's currency, it's black, so I can read it easily, it's larger, so it's easier to click. But what if I'm blasting through a map and I'm trying to go fast, and what if I miss it? What if I want to hear something, right? I want to hear something to know that this item dropped, so I don't miss it. Okay, so now we want to add a sound. So if we come back here, we have a new keyword called play alert sound. And just quick note on these keywords, they have to be capitalized and set exactly how they are. So notice I have base with a capital B, and then I have type with a capital T. It has to be set this exact way. So make sure you're doing it this way. I'll see if I can find the wiki that has all the keywords for the PoE1 item filters, but they essentially work exactly the same from PoE1 to PoE2. The only difference is obviously in PoE1 you would set filters for like, oh, I'm looking for items with 6 sockets. Well, we don't have items with 6 sockets in PoE2 anymore, so certain rules won't apply. But anyways, play alert sound is our new thing. We're going to take that off. And what are the two values here mean? So the first value is the actual type of sound you want. And I don't know what it goes up to, but it's between 1 and I think 15 It might go higher than 15, I don't know. But there's different sounds. There's like 15 different sounds, maybe 20 different sounds. You can experiment with what you like. And the second number is a volume. So the volume goes from 1 to 300. So 1 being the quietest, 300 being the loudest. I don't recommend 300. It might be too loud for you. 100 is a good spot. Experiment with that. If you want to increase it, maybe go to 150 or maybe try 200. Play around with the volume and then play around with the sounds you like. So if we start on sound number 1, it's file save. And now if I reload, notice it makes that sound. So that means whenever an Exalted Orb drops, it makes that sound. You hear that? Okay. So I'm not a fan of that sound. Let's try number 2. File save. You hear that sound? If you are familiar with filter blades, never syncs loot filters, that's a very common sound. So if I take this and drop that, look at the sound it's making. Right? So there you go. You can play around with that. Personally, a favorite of mine is 12. I like 12 personally. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite sound for whenever I drop more high value currency, okay? So there we go. Let's pick these back up. Okay, now let's look at a couple more things. So now, what if I want to make certain items look very special? So like, what else can I do, or what other tips do I have? Well, there's one more keyword that I want to give you for currency that I like to add personally, especially high value currency like exalts, divines, maybe chaos, although chaos isn't as good in PoE2. Chaos is okay. Exalts definitely are high priority, and divines are still pretty damn good. But you have a new thing called play effect, and play effect, all that does, it adds a beam to your items. And this doesn't use RGB, it actually uses the name of the color. So you could just put red here, you could put blue, there might be purple. I'm not sure exactly what colors are there, but feel free to experiment and play around with it. I just choose green. So now if I hit file and save, and I drop, or sorry, I have to reload first. Item filter loaded successfully, no errors. Now we drop our Exalted Orb and check that out. We have a sound, we have the green border, larger font size, black text, green beam flowing through it, and there you go. So these are the very basics. Looks good, and if I drop any other currency next to it, look at that. It has the defaults. Okay, now what if I want to add other kinds of currency? I want other currencies to have the same rules as that Exalted Orb. So let's look at some other currencies, for example. So like I said, maybe you prefer seeing when Regal Orbs drop. Just add it right after that, in quotes. Make sure you put it in quotes. Anything that has two words in it, you want to put it in quotes. Okay, so Exalted Orb, Regal Orb. Let's put Chaos Orb, maybe. Let's put Divine Orb, maybe, right? You can put any orbs you want, and then you can adjust it this way. So now, if I reload here, my Regal Orb looks like that, my Exalted Orb looks like that, my Chaos looks like that, my Divine looks like that, okay? So it follows all the same rules just because I added it on that same line. Okay, what if I want Divines to look a particular way and change, and I want Exalts to look a particular, what if I want to change them? Okay, so let's look at that. So let's pick these back up. So now if I open back the filter page, let's say I want only Exalts and Regal Orbs to look this way. Maybe you're like, oh, because Exalts and Regals are currency for yellow, making yellow items, maybe I want to set the background color to yellow. Maybe I want to make the play effect yellow. I don't know what the RGB for yellow is, but I'm assuming it's some red, a little bit of green, hardly any blue, something like that. I don't know. Figure it out, but find out the RGB color. Maybe you want to set it as yellow. Let's actually set the example just to make it clear. So if we take yellow here, yeah, 255, 255, hardly any blue. Okay, so let's just go with that. So put 255, 255. Let's just put 10. Okay. If I say file save, Now what is it looking like? Refresh. It looks like that. So let's say I want exalted orbs to look yellow, regal orbs look yellow. Why? That's easy to tell me that when these things drop, they're currencies that mess with specifically rare items. Well, what about these orbs of transmutation that mess with blue items, that make normal items turn into blue items? Maybe I want to make those blue. How would I do that? How do I set additional rules? It's the same thing. You can literally just copy this, paste it down below, switch the base type from exalted orb. Let's just put orb of transmutation, and then we can do the same thing, orb of augmentation. Set the background color. Let's set this to maybe 0, 0, and 100 to get some kind of blue. The text color, maybe we want it to be white instead of black, because seeing a dark blue with black in it might be hard to read. So let's make this 255, 255, 255. I actually don't even know how this is going to look. Maybe I don't want to put a play alert sound, so I can just erase this line. Or if I do want a different sound, I can mess around and change it. Or let's just take it off. We don't want a sound when those drop because they're not that important. We'll give it a play effect, and maybe we'll decrease the font size to 40. Play around with it however you want. Now file, save. If I reload, those stay the same. And look how the orb of transmutation looks and how the orb of augmentation looks. Okay? So these are just examples of how you can do it, and I'm using currency specifically as an example. Let me show you a couple other examples with items specifically.
Ooh, nice.
But before I do that, actually, let's talk about classes now. Now, what if I don't want to physically write every single currency in the game? All I care about is they look the same. I just want all currencies to look the same, with the exception of maybe a couple or something. Okay, well, that's super easy to do. So instead of using base type, we're actually going to use a new keyword called class. Remember what I told you, a base type is a specific one item of its own. So right, so like a base type of crossbow would be this expert sturdy crossbow. That's the base of the crossbow. But there's other multiple crossbows. There's many crossbows in the game, different types. That's a class. Crossbows are a class, and this particular base type of crossbow is the expert sturdy crossbow. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. It's like a class would be life flask, or flask would be a class, right? But then the specific base type is transcendent life flask, if that makes sense. So don't worry about that. You don't have to understand those specifics, but just understand you could use class here, and you can remove the specific names of orbs, and you can literally just put currency. So if I put currency and I say that, and then let's say I want to keep this. I want orbs of transmutation and orbs of augmentation to look blue, but I want all other currency to look yellow with these settings. Let's say I wanted to do that. Well, if I say file and save, let's reload. Now let's see what happens. So obviously our regal orbs look good, exalts look good, chaos looks good, divines look good. We didn't specifically specify any of those orbs because we use the class currency. Anything that's a currency item will fall under that branch, right? This includes things like gold too. Scrolls of Wisdom is another example. But notice how we did put orbs of transmutation and orbs of augmentation. We put these two orbs, we put them separately under the list, right? Under the filter. So we still want these to be blue. But what happens if I drop them? They turn yellow. Why is that? Well, the reason why is because your filter item actually reads top to bottom. So because orbs of transmutation and augmentation are currency, they're going to follow these rules because they appear first on the list before this. So if I want to set specific rules for specific items, it's better to do that above. So if I put it above orbs of transmutation and augmentation, and then I say class currency, what does that mean? Now if I re-roll that, sorry, I didn't save the file. It's very important you save the file. File, save. Now we reload. Check it out. My transmutation and augmentations are that way, but everything else is yellow. Perfect. Okay? So remember that the order in the filter file also does matter. Okay? And the beauty of this is I'm setting a specific base type. I want orbs of transmutation and orbs of augmentation to look a certain way. Now I'm saying underneath that I want all other currency to look a certain way. Okay, so now what if you're like, well, I like that I could do that, but I want specific currencies. Like I don't want gold to look any different. I don't want scrolls of wisdom to look any different. I want them just to have their default appearance. How could I do that? Very simple. Remember, we have to, whenever we make any specific rules, we always have to put them at the top. So let's start with show. And then we're going to use base type. We're not going to use a whole class of currency. We're omitting specific types of currency. So we're going to say base type. And then let's say we want gold. Let's put it in quotes just to keep it consistent. And let's say scroll of wisdom. Well, we want gold and scroll of wisdom to keep its default look. So what do I add under it to make it default? Nothing. You don't set any parameters. You just say show base type gold and scroll of wisdom, and what would that do? If you set nothing, no changes to background color, text color, font size, anything like that, what will happen? It's going to retain its default look. So if I do this specifically, file save. Now let's take a look. What happens is my scrolls of wisdom, they retain the same default look. Orbs of transmutation show blue. Regal orbs show yellow, as per the rules of my filter. I hope that made sense. Let me know if there's any questions in the comments. I can help you guys out with creating your own loot filters. It's a very basic way to do it. I'm just going to round this video out with some specifics, and we'll go from there. Hang tight, Exile. Did I answer your question? Let me just finish covering this topic, and feel free to ask me your question. You could send in the question now. Just let me focus on finishing this up. I'm going to post this as a video on YouTube, and then I'll address your question. So thanks for your patience, man. But anyways, so back to where we're going at. Okay, so now, so far, hey, thanks for the follow, Exile. I appreciate it. Okay, so far we've covered currencies. Now what about things like weapons and things like that? Well, let's erase all of this. And remember, I put these in front of pound symbols, and the reason for that is they get all omitted by the text thing. Yours will probably be empty, so we could just erase that, but I'm going to keep it just for visible sake. But let's just go with the format of everything again. So show and hide are two kind of I guess major keywords. These determine whether or not you're going to show something in the filter or you're going to hide something in the filter. Just be very careful with hide, because if you're not very specific with hide, you'll hide a lot of items and you have to hold alt to see them. So if I just type hide, and let's say I wanted to hide, I'm a mercenary, so I want crossbows. So let's say I wanted to hide specifically anything like a I don't know, a quarterstaff. Maybe it's just like that. Yeah, maybe I want to hide quarterstaff. Well, if I do that, file save, and I don't have a quarterstaff here to show off. Let's actually we'll use this vest as an example. But now, if I dropped a quarterstaff, it would never show. But that's not always ideal, because you do want to show quarterstaffs even if you're not a mercenary. Why? Because if you drop a quarterstaff with sockets in it or quality in it, you want to salvage it. You want to take it to the salvage bench. So I specifically have this body armor right here, right? And let's take a look at this. So let's use the body armor as an example. So let's say I want to hide class, and then we'll say body armor. Remember, you have to put it in quotes if it's more than one word, and they specifically spell armor with a U. If you don't put the U, I don't think it's going to get detected. You have to spell armor with a U. So if I say hide class body armor, file save, what's going to happen? When I reload, item filter loaded successfully. That's how you know you did it right. If I drop this, what'll happen? It's gone. I can't see it anymore. That will get filtered out of my loot filter. The problem is what if I drop something like this, a yellow one? It's also hidden. That's not good. Now I have to hold Alt in order to see the items. So now we have to decide on setting specific parameters that make it so we only see the armors that we want, and the armors hide the armors we don't want. So you can set it any way you want to. I can give you an example. Let's say I want to hide all body armors that do not have any sockets, right? If they don't have any sockets, they're useless to me. For example, let's just say that's one example. So if I just say sockets and I say less than 1, that's the syntax for sockets. So now if I say file and I save, and I reload, item filter loaded successfully. What'll happen? If I drop this body armor, it hides. If I drop the one I'm wearing, notice it's still showing normally. Why is it showing normally? Because it has sockets. Okay, so that's an example of how you would use sockets. But what if you don't want to hide all white items? What if you want to alter the rarity? What if you just want to hide all white items and you only want to see blues and yellows? Okay, you could do that too. You could remove sockets. You could say rarity. And you actually want to use the equal sign, or you can use greater than equals. And let me show you how that works. So if I say equals magic being a blue item, so hide all blues, or I could say hide all normals. This hides all whites. Let's save, reload. When I drop this chest armor, it hides, and when I drop this, it shows it. Why? Because this is a normal rarity, right? So let's put that back on. But notice, let's say I did have a white body armor with sockets, and I want that to show so I can pick it up and salvage it, because I want to get those artificer's orbs so I can put sockets on my gear. Well, if you want to omit that, then, or if you want to add that specific text, then you would just combine the two examples that I just gave you. So you would say rarity equals normal, and you would say sockets less than 1. Okay, so now I don't have a white gear to show you. I wish I did, because it would make it more clear. But now if I do this, if I drop this will get hidden. But if it had a socket, and I could probably just put a socket for demonstration purposes, why not? Even though these are really valuable. I don't have any gear pieces. But let's just put a socket on it now. Now when I drop it, check this out. It's going to show. So notice earlier it didn't show because it didn't have a socket, but now it shows because it has a socket. So that's an easy way to make it so you're hiding specific things that you don't want to see, but you have to be very specific. If you just put hide and you only put a couple things, it's going to be really, really likely that you're going to hide things that you actually wanted to see. And then you might have to always constantly go through the game holding Alt to make sure you're not doing it. Be very careful, especially if you're a beginner with item filters using hide. I prefer you use show and you filter your items that way. Use show only. Try not to use hide unless you get very specific with it like this. Okay, so that's the final thing. I'm going to wrap up by going through the keywords, giving you some syntax and some examples just to round it out, a summary, and then you guys will be good to go. Again, like I said, let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if you need help with the loot filter, if you just want a general filter, like a copy of mine, sure, I could send it to you, something like that. Just let me know and I'm here to help, okay? Actually, is Waystone a class or a Waystone? Yeah, it is. It is. Okay. I'm gonna take out the commas because then it's gonna be confusing. Okay, and the base type examples. Exalted orb. Ruby ring. These are examples. Okay, so let's round out, let's summarize what we covered. So the two main words, keywords in creating a filter are show and hide. If you guys want more examples or want to see how it's done, feel free again to ask me questions in the comments. But let's just look at the syntax of these most common words and examples. So we have set text color, which you understand what that is. That sets the text of the item. So notice the text on the default is brown orb of transmutation. Just remember you need to set it as RGB. You need numeric values. We don't put commas in between or nothing. It has to be this specific format. R space G space B. Don't put it in parentheses. That's the only thing I want you to ignore is the parentheses. You saw how it looked earlier. Use the RGB website I showed you earlier. Get the RGB values. You can pick any color. Doesn't matter. You can go whatever and just make sure you pick your RGB and you set it. Same thing goes for background color, border color, font size. Font size is different actually, but these are the ones. I believe there's one more that also follows RGB I'm just forgetting about, but these are the main ones you're going to even deal with. Border color, I don't know if I showed you that specific example, but it looks something like this. They see how is this green border? Yeah, this is what I added. I added green border whenever I look for a specific crossbow. I set my own rules. But going back to the general one anyways. Let's look at it again. So anyways, RGB for text color, background color, border color. Okay? For font size, remember it starts at 1 at the lowest if you want to make something super small. So you could actually experiment with hiding things that way instead of using hide. If you're scared you're going to hide stuff you don't intend to. Maybe you could, instead of saying hide those things, you could say show, and then maybe just set the font size really small, like 10 or something. That way, like, they look really small, they're negligible, but in case you miss something that is really good, you still see it. You could experiment with that, but I think the default is 30, 45 being the max, okay? Play alert sound. 1 through 20, I believe, 1 through 15, something like that. Experiment with it, just try the different sounds. Remember, you have to put the first number chooses the specific sound, then the second number is your volume level, 1 to 300, okay? Then play effect, we just put the name of the color. An example would just be blue. You just say play effect blue, okay? I'll actually write out some examples afterwards when we go over them. Item level, you would use it the same way we did in the sockets example or the rarity example, where you would put rarity and then you put it equals, or you would say greater than equals normal or magic. Okay, greater than equals means what? This affects magic items, yellow items which are rare, and orange items which are unique. So if you did greater than equal, if you want specifically only magic items, you just put the equal, okay? Class, this would be things like currency, crossbow, body armor. Remember, we put anything that has 2 words, we have to put in quotes. Waystone, right? These are your maps, right? Your waystones right here, right? If I look at this filter, I just increase the font size of waystones, for example. So I just keep it very basic. And then the final point would be base type, or things like specific bases. So exalted orb is a base of the class currency. Expert sturdy crossbow is the base of the class crossbow. Ruby ring would be the base type of class ring, right? Body armor, waystones, you could put specific ones, body armor. Like if you know the base you want, like right here, there's an expert rogue armor. If I knew I wanted that base, I could filter that way too. Just use base type. But that's gonna summarize everything there. There's way more. I'm gonna see if I can find the wiki and I'll add it to the description of the video, so you can kind of customize it more. If you have questions or you want to get a little bit more advanced, let me know, and either I could do a new video or you can stop by the stream and I can help you create that. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. Peace. Alright guys, video done. Whoever's stopped by the stream, if you had questions, Exiled, if you're still there, feel free to ask me your question now. Thanks for being patient while I recorded that video. That video is going to go up on YouTube probably tomorrow. Okay, let's go back to streamer mode. There we go. We are officially back on streamer mode. What's good, everybody? Exiled, you still there? You still have a question? Let me know, man. I appreciate you being patient.
What can I do for you? Time is not on our side.
Okay, back to doing maps. Yeah, another tier 3 waystone. Let's go. Tier 2. Hopefully that evasion based gloves are good, because we definitely need some armor up defensive armor upgrades. Like higher resistances, like that would be nice. Ooh, another tier 3. Let's go. Where's the other rare mobs? Oh, there he is. Okay, nice and easy. We got 2 tier 3 waystones, so I'm just gonna leave here.
What is it?
That's not good. Let's complete our maps. How do I get in there? Oh, here we go. It's the Lachlan boss. No! No, 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 please! Oh, the slow is crazy. There we go. Whew, almost killed me. Is it not gonna drop any gear? Okay, there we go. Waystone tier 5. I would like to find another waystone of tier 3. So I'm gonna search the map a little bit more, even though the map is complete already.
You're done!
I'm not doing these rituals, they'll kill me. Tier 2. Here, tier 3 now. Oh, prismatic ring. That's good. I'm just gonna look in this upper area, and if there's nothing else there, then we'll go back. We might be able to buy more tier 3 waystones from Doriani. Or who knows, maybe we get lucky on the next tier 3. And get a bunch. I'm surprised I got a tier 5 though. Okay, I think that's it. I literally happened to walk right back into my what do you call it? Hey, Exiled, what's up, buddy? Thanks for being patient, man. I finished recording my video that I was doing for making a loot filter. Yeah, you said you had a question? Hey, oh, it's you, Pickles. What the fuck? What's up, bro? I was like, yeah. I was like, hang tight. Oh, you're streaming on this. You've been streaming. No wonder I haven't seen you around. How's the stream going, man? Ooh, that's actually a good gem. Trash bad, I suck? What do you mean you suck? You suck at the game? You suck at streaming? What is it? Streaming, of course I'm godlike in PoE. Nice. Well, what is it you need help with? I could help you. $133 of Asian mana gain per kill. Follow me, some. Okay, I got you. There you go, my friend. How to increase followers? Go to other people's streaming and ask them to follow me. No, don't do that. What I'd recommend, if you want, what I'd recommend is, do you know how to multi-stream on YouTube also? You've done that? Okay. Yeah. Just keep multi-streaming on YouTube. And what I've been doing, yeah, you have to be patient, especially with a brand new release like PoE2. You know how like all of the top streamers are getting all the viewership. So like think about it. The PoE series I was doing with the Necro Settlers, where I was trying to learn how to play the game and everything, my stream was popping. My stream was doing really well. Then when PoE2 comes out, I'm thinking, hey, my stream should go well too. But nope, it actually does like horrible. My stream has been doing horrible lately. And the reason why is because all those top streamers are getting all the viewership. I'm not getting anything right now. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's watching this. Are you affiliate yet? Yes, I am affiliate. I officially can get subs. What act are you on? I'm in the end game. Yeah, I'm in end game. Where are you at in your game? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Pickles, you're the GOAT, actually, because you stuck around when we were, like, noob tier streamer and until we get to the affiliate status, so I appreciate it, bud. Like, genuinely, I mean it. Like, corniness aside, I genuinely appreciate it, man. Thanks. How much damage do I lose by swapping this jewel? Hardly anything. Yeah, I'm taking that out. That accuracy and evasion is going to be helpful. Blast duration. I'm only using this really for the reload speed. All good. I generally don't follow anybody, but this stream was good even for me to learn. Hey, man. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I try to keep it super basic, and my niche is I'm a noob, so I'm just here to learn and have fun. You have to find your niche to see what makes you stand out. Why do people want to watch you? And if you want to compete with the other PoE pros where you're a god and you're giving build guides and stuff like that, you could do that. Just understand there's a lot of those people too. So you just have to be consistent. You're playing minions, of course. How do you like the minions? I haven't tried it yet. How do you like it?
Hello. Until next time.
It was sucky sucky till you get SRS. The funny thing is, I kept saying like weeks ago, I said I will play Witch at some point, but if I play minions, the only minions I'll play are SRS. I don't like other minions, but yeah. Yeah, SRS seems to be strong. 25 deaths until Act 5, 20 deaths before SRS. Okay. I have a lot of deaths. Let me see how many I have. I have 91 deaths right now in Endgame. Endgame's another animal. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. BRB, okay. No problem. Okay, let's... Should I activate these towers? I mean, the nice thing of activating towers is you get to see more. Nah, I'm just gonna do this decay, man. I'm so annoyed about that boss fight in the trial, man. The honor system sucks, dude. I hate that honor system so much. Completed all trials or 3. I haven't completed any more but the first 2, the ones you get in the campaign. I tried doing a 3 trial thing for my 3rd ascendancy, but that honor system is horrible, man. You take one big hit from a boss and you just lose. It's so bad. So now I'm thinking of doing the ultimatum one instead. Does an evasion armor apply to it this game? That I'm not sure about. But even if it does, it's very hard to evade a boss attack. Might give it the trial another chance. I haven't checked the vendors in a little bit to see if they have better gear. Spread wax jacket. You following a guide or on your own? Everything has been on my own so far. I haven't followed any guides or anything. It's actually been pretty easy to create my own build. As you can see, I'm blasting. The only thing is, I don't know when we can get a 4th support gem socket on a skill. I don't know how close I am. That's gonna be the next power spike. You got one from Act 3? No. Wait. When I say 4th socket, you're talking about a 5 link. That's what you mean? You got a 5 link on one of your skills from Act 3. What the fuck, dude? No way. I barely got my 4 link at Act 3. That's insane. I've been unlucky then. Okay, there we go. Are you in maps too, or are you still in the campaign?
Yes.
Campaign, okay. You fucked up the start. Look at this monstrosity of a stash tab I have. I really want a gem tab. I do, but isn't it supposed to go on sale soon? I'll be so pissed if I buy this and then it goes on sale. That's the only reason I haven't bought it yet. Because I know the sale is overdue. Usually it's every 3 weeks, but it's been over 3 weeks, I think. Since the last one. Okay, should I try the 3rd trial in Ultimatum? I'm gonna try the Ultimatum one. Trial of Chaos. The modifiers are super punishing though, man.
An eager mercenary approaches in search of riches.
Don't hit petrify, okay. Alright, let's try it. And orb on
Complacency
death, okay.
breeds contempt.
Monsters hits always inflict bleeding and poison. I'm sure that's gonna be really annoying. So I think I'm gonna just take monster speed.
Mortality seeks you in kind.
I heard there's like, not a bug, but like some boss that like basically one-shots you guaranteed in Ultimatum. So if I RNG a bad boss, then GC. Have you tried the Blink reservation gem that turns your dash into a, or your dodge roll into a blink? I wonder if it's good. It might be bad because there's a cooldown, but I don't know. SRS and Grim Harvest, okay. Is that it, or is there more? Okay, so far, pretty easy.
We are only getting started.
Invulnerable Shade stalks you. No, I don't want that. So I don't want this one, right? The Orb on Death, Volatile. I don't want that one. We'll take the Lethal Rare Monsters.
The exceptions are more common than you think.
I should be able to nuke rare monsters, hopefully. So.
Outlive my expectations.
Yo, Lore Weaver, what's up, bro? You wish you could be playing more? Why aren't you playing? You're working? Good job, unfortunately, well, damn, son. How are you doing, man? How's the PoE2 launch been for you? Oh, software company, okay.
Look out!
Sometimes it sells stuff without checking with devs before. Oh no. So now you have to do cleanup. I understand, man. I worked at a software company for a while. Working on a video right now. Nice, dude. I'm glad you're still on it. Unfortunately, with PoE2's release, the stream has been a little bit underwhelming, but that's mainly because all the big time streamers are taking all the traffic.
This is just the beginning.
You actually noticed the way you were dealing with the filter? Oh, the loot filter? Yeah. Classic developer behavior, yeah, dude. I was a comp sci major, so. I took Petrify Pickles. I took it. The other one seemed worse. Gee. Just don't look at him. Just don't look at him. Turn your back to him. No! Yo, they daze so fast. Big streamers suck, the major public. Yeah, exactly. We actually had some good momentum when we were doing that PoE1 Necro Sutler stuff, but then I thought when PoE2 came out it was gonna be a big opportunity, but actually it's actually been rough. But that's okay. We're patient. We got to affiliate status on Twitch. I'm not complaining whatsoever. your head up, mate. You communicate well. I appreciate it, buddy. But yeah, man. I did that little video on creating your own loot filter, so hopefully that'll help some people out. Although at this point, I think there might be some pre-made loot filters already out and available. Maybe make some clips and specific stuff. But yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing. From now on my streams, you might see me just segue and start making a video or something like that. Might even make a video on like my build that I'm rocking, for example. Yeah, that was weird. I had to get off and get back on. It looks good, actually. Yeah. I think I created a pretty solid build. My mercenary is still ass. Oh, man. But I'm Act 1 still, so understandable. For me, mercenary, yeah, was weak. Act 1 and kind of Act 2. But it really is dependent on getting a good crossbow, really. It's the gear that's kind of bad more than anything.
Their skin grows stiff and resilient.
Oh god, this boss is gonna one-shot me, I already know it.
I suggest you aim for the head.
No! I didn't know they had petrify in the boss too. Okay, just we have to stand in the middle. Oh my god, dude, that tornado does so much damage. Ah. Initial skills are also underwhelming with only 2 supports. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely right. This is what I've been rocking. Explosive shot, fire infusion, scatter shot, some attack speed. Obviously, once I get my 4th support gem, it'd be good. What type of damage is that tornado fizz? Maybe, I think so. I just got deleted, like, and it's really hard to dodge. Meanwhile, I have 5. You have 5 what? Oh, 5 sockets? Yeah. I don't know how you ended up getting that in Act 3. That's insane, actually. Okay, I'm gonna skip on the trials. The trials are just tough, man. I'm just gonna go back to maps. Played around with frag shot and poison. Forgot the name, but a poison AoE. Gas grenade. Dot overall might be undertuned right now. Yeah, I haven't messed with dot too much. It's a support gem that makes a small poison explosion. Oh, what is that? Let's see. All gems, poison. Bursting plague, this one? No. Is that the one? Bursting plague? Oh yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
Poisoning multiple mobs.
Until next time.
Making AoE explosion with the fragmentation rounds. That's not... Doesn't seem like a horrible idea. How do you make the mobs poison though? It's all by the fragmentation, or are you getting them poisoned by a different skill?
Time is of the essence.
Another support with poison chance. Okay, I see. Yeah, I don't think that would work. I think if you use gas grenade or something like that, then that would be more plausible. But instead of using fragmentation rounds, you might have to use explosive shot. I just want a pure explosive shot build because I know most people are playing mercenaries are going grenade based, and grenades they're a little wonky for me just because, you know, they're fine if you can get the fuse time down really low if you're gonna go pure grenades. But when I started playing this scatter shot explosive shot, I actually fell in love with it. It feels really nice. It's not the fastest by any means, but nothing in this game really is that fast yet. He was hoping to try something with a lot of chaining. Gatling gun ricocheting. You can try galvanic, what is it called? Galvanic shards. Galvanic shards is that lightning one. That one's pretty fast and it chains. SRS Comet is super fast. How do you play SRS Comet? You make your SRS do freeze or something? Or do you do like a cast on freeze setup, like, or cast on ignite? What are you doing to make that work? Cast on death minute. Oh, interesting. That's actually really interesting. I didn't think of that. I'm not sure what class I want to play second, but what I can say is I tried a little bit of Warrior, and I don't think Warrior's it for me in this game. The leveling for Warrior is real rough. Nice-oo. Witch and Mercenary are my top choices by far. Love minion builds but hated PoE1. I absolutely hate dealing with specters. Yeah, I was never a minion person, and PoE1 for sure did not change that. Although I did really like SRS. Because SRS doesn't really feel like a minion build, you know? It almost feels like a spell that just does dot damage. I mean, it is a minion build, but it's not. It doesn't feel like one. I don't need to interact with corpses. I just point in one direction and spam a bunch of skulls. Such a cool concept, but the thing is you spend 10 divs into an animated guardian, spend 10 divs on a corpse. Sometimes you open the game if your specter just disappeared. Yeah, I have no idea how it worked in PoE1, the specter stuff.
Nice.
But specters in this game are way better, right? Minions in general are just way better. They just revive on their own. It's beautiful. There's a league that you could buy corpses. Some would be very expensive. Data bank? What is data bank? What does that mean? Yo. Ray Spectre, Gem plus Desecrate.
Stay dead.
Yeah, I never understood how that worked. I remember I saw a video. I think Gazzy made the video. And so you had to go to someone's hideout and just randomly use Desecrate and then you get a Spectre or something. Like, I didn't understand how it worked. Sometimes your screen is full of minions, you don't notice it and Desecrate bugs. I think it's if you enter a map. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all. I'm glad I avoided minions in PoE1. How are you guys liking this game, by the way? Like, if you had well, carry on with your Spectre conversation, but let me know afterwards. I'm curious. It's amazing. I love the game. It's hard. See, Pickles, you have the exact same opinion as me. I absolutely love this game. I'm loving it. And by no means is that a minority opinion, but you're hearing a lot of mixed opinions, especially from more veteran PoE players, right? They only need to have an UI with your pool of specters and get. This is not PoE. This is different. Absolutely, this is a completely different game. Game. This is a completely different game. And what's funny is I have friends that never played PoE1. Or if they did play PoE1, they just could not get into it, and they absolutely love this game. And that's how you know it's a good game. And I was telling everybody when this game was coming out, I'm like, there's gonna be a lot of PoE1 people who are not gonna like this game. I called it. There's gonna be a lot of people. But I mean, I'm not saying I called it like I'm special. I predicted it. Nobody else did. It was
Yes.
pretty obvious, right? It was going to be a very different game. And that 15% increased movement speed would have been nice, but get the hell off my Twitch. $37 life. Okay, waystones. We have 2 tier 3s. So we're just gonna keep going. I still don't know the optimal way to run maps in this game, but neither do most
Hello.
people. So
Until next time.
we're gonna figure it out together. But it seems like they made it a little bit more streamlined. As long as you just follow the quests up here for endgame, I think you're on the right track. Okay, limestone hideout. Let's get this. What mechanic that's not currently in PoE2 would you guys like to return next from PoE1? Can you enable advertisements now? You can get some money off of them, right? I can. Yes, I can. Not lab. Yeah, I was thinking harvest. Oh god, please. You'd like Blight? You're a Blight enjoyer? You're like a vampire survivor mode? Oh, actually, that would be so sick. I love games like those. What specific tweaks are you talking about? How would you tweak Blight to fit better in PoE2? Yeah, see, Harvest seems good, and instead of having like the same hoarder crafting station, I think they can make a slightly simpler crafting bench that is similar to the base crafting bench in PoE1, but uses the juice from Harvest. I think that would be a good return. Spawn of monsters change, not from some portals, but like a big round map and try to defend a base, something like that. Go deeper into the tower defense mechanics. See, when I think tower defense, I think of Bloons tower defense, and it's like the balloons only come from one path, and then you're setting up a bunch of defenses, and you have multiple types, right, that have a cost to it, which Blight kind of in PoE1 kind of had a similar thing, but not really. It's like a very simplistic version of that. Absolute garbaggio. Okay, let's alch this helmet and see if we can get anything good. 69 life, armor and evasion, accuracy, intelligence. The amount of life is not that impressive. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bin this one.
Yes. I'll be here.
I say maybe adapt Blight to be more of a swarm survival. Yeah, then they'll have to also think of a different different reward system for it because they brought the oils. They put the oils in Delirium, right? Where the hell do you give this sacrificial dagger? You're there, literally where you pick up the sacrificial dagger. You're supposed to place a sacrificial heart, and you're supposed to stab the heart with the dagger. You're supposed to do it right where you pick it up. I don't know if you found the sacrificial heart in the previous area. Did you? Okay. And where you found the dagger, you're supposed to place the heart and then stab it. That's what you're supposed to do. Only issue with my build right now is the mana, but we have a mana flask anyway, so putting it to use. Hey, Lore Weaver, if I wanted to transition into software development, do you know any tips for me? While I was a comp sci major, I went into database administration, data analysis, etc., which is a lucrative field, but I almost kind of want to go into software development. Comp says computer science, yeah. I'm trying to figure out what is the best way if I wanted to transition. What could I do? Like, should I get a certification in a particular language or something? I don't know. Data analysts and software development are two very different areas to work in. Yeah, absolutely. But then you have a lot of companies looking for full stack development. So they want data analysis, they want back end, they want front end, they want everything. Job experience makes sense. it's not unfair. It makes sense. You'd prefer someone who's experienced. So comp says very good to hear, okay? Ah, that's right, you're in Brazil. That's right. Comp says is considered a very difficult course to graduate. Okay.
You're done!
Can't get to Agarat. Fucking what happened?
What is it?
25% increase physical. Yeah, that's just piss poor. Yes, the gateway. People want to know if you have the basis in the stacks asked for in the job description, so portfolio will do the job. So I'll have to work on my own projects or something, right? Like even if I work on a project from home, something like a hobby, something for fun, and put that in a portfolio, that could be useful, right? Profile of a developer, okay. 13 to 23 physical. 15 strength. Nope. Fail. This is good for a monk. I think I could get rid of that. I think I can also get rid of that. Adrugi is a very good start. You can reinforce that with Udemy certificates on the stacks you want to work with. That's probably what I should do. I have a Udemy account. So that's probably what I should do. I should just work on getting certifications or just taking courses and getting... Yeah, I should do stuff like that.
On with the work.
But I'm in no rush to transition now. It's just in case I wanted to transition. I was curious what would be a good method. You have a big challenge enemy. It's called PoE2. Dude, I love this game so much. Oh my god. This game is so good. Like every single day, I just can't wait to get on. I haven't felt like that about a game in so long. So all the people who are complaining, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I just hope that developers don't cave into the criticism. That's exactly the problem. PoE is just too good. Yeah, it is. It's really good. It's such a good game. Like, when I picked up the Mercenary, instantly when I picked it up and started using WASD, it just felt so good to me. Even though Mercenary was weak in the beginning and the loot drops didn't feel so good and things were a little bit convoluted, one thing I can say is the gameplay just felt very smooth. Like, I didn't have any lag or hiccups or anything after the whole delay on the first day of the early access. Once it was finally up and ready and we weren't getting disconnected anymore, I didn't lag at all. Like, everything was smooth. It felt great. I was having fun. Mercenary was a little weaker in the beginning, but it was okay because I actually found a decent crossbow that carried me. And we got so many skill gems that I could test everything. I was able to play with every skill. And if I had to redo Mercenary, I would do it slightly differently. The realm is about a restart, but if I could show you guys quickly, definitely fragmentation rounds carries you in the beginning of the game. Then once you get to level 5 skill gem, galvanic shards is the way. But you still keep fragmentation rounds for bosses because it's horrible for bosses. This is your AoE clear. Then when you get level 7, you go explosive shot. Obviously, a lot of people went explosive grenades and they went the grenade build, but me personally, I like the crossbow build. Okay, the realm is going to restart soon, means an update. So I think I'm going to wrap up the stream here, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe I'll catch you on one of your streams, Pickles. If not, it's always good to see you around here. Have a good one, you guys. Lower Weaver, as always, thanks for stopping by. And we'll be streaming likely tomorrow. So we'll see you guys next time. Peace.